My name is John Lesinski, and I spent 26 years in the Marine Corps, combined active and reserve service, retired as a full colonel. And in the Marines, we weren't Republicans and we weren't Democrats. We were all Americans, and we were working every day to make America strong. That's the kind of bipartisan attitude that I'm going to take with me down to Richmond to find solutions that work for all Virginians. I grew up in a household where public service was a very important thing. And when I joined the Marines, I joined to serve my country. Now that I'm retired, I'm looking for a higher calling, to serve you down in Richmond, to fight for you and what you need.
People aren't looking for handouts around here, but they are looking for a way to have an opportunity to better themselves. And this is where I think John can really provide that leadership.
I think that John has real leadership qualities.
John's already established himself as having a set of specific proposals to do something about the jobless situation in the district.
In this time of economic crisis, we're constantly looking for ways to create jobs. I've come forward with a program called Rail First, which asks that the Commonwealth of Virginia build a world-class rail system in the valley before ever putting a shovel in the ground to widen Interstate 81. Rail First is fiscally responsible, it'll reduce congestion, it'll take freight off of our interstates and put it onto rail, and it'll help create jobs by bringing world-class manufacturers into the Shenandoah Valley. With Rail First, building a world-class rail system, we'll be able to move our goods up to the Virginia Inland Port and access global markets, moving our products throughout the world and helping us be more productive.
John Lesinski's plan for creating jobs, I think, is an excellent one.
I think we have to work hard every day down in Richmond to create jobs and reduce unemployment. We've come forward with a number of plans that show a path to creating jobs and growing our economy.
I think having John Lesinski with his experience for creating jobs is incredibly important to this district at this time when jobs are so important to this community.
I spent 26 years in the Marine Corps, and I learned a lot about leadership. And I've brought those leadership skills with me as I started my own business here in the Shenandoah Valley. And recently I've come up with a proposal to create jobs by giving tax credits to companies that bring 100 or more permanent and full-time jobs into areas with chronic high unemployment. We could create upwards of 1,500 jobs here in the valley. We recently put out a 21-page business plan which talks about creating jobs, providing tax relief, and reducing spending. We also talk about transportation solutions, agribusiness, promoting education, and growing job training. My opponent does not believe that it is his job to get people back to work. I disagree. The most important thing that I can do for you is to help create jobs, grow our economy, and get us back on track here in Virginia.
In regard to John's opponent, I first introduced myself and asked him a few questions about where he thought the county should go and how it should go there. And he reacted to me, I think, in a very pompous way. And he didn't really have the time to listen to me if I didn't agree with what he wanted.
The incumbent is purely partisan. I don't hear anything original. I just hear the same old party politics. And as I say, it's refreshing to hear someone who wants to do something about the problems.
John has been fighting the rate increases in electricity, which we're looking ahead to very shortly. And he was instrumental in bringing people together to sign a petition and taking a large group of people down to Richmond to speak their minds and let Richmond know.
Increases in utility rates are hurting both small businesses and families. We recently took 4,000 signatures on a petition down to the State Corporation Commission in Richmond and appealed to them to roll back or freeze these increases in our utility rates.
I think the breadth of John's experience, both as a Marine and as a businessman, should stand him in very good stead to be a delegate representing us in this district.
John is a neighbor. He's a great guy. He's a straight shooter. And he is a person, I think, once you meet him, you want to say, I'd like him to be on my side.
I feel as though we would all be better served with John.
My name is John Lesinski, and I'm a candidate for the Virginia House of Delegates in the 15th District. I ask for your support on November the 3rd to help me get Virginia's economy back on track.